Hey guys, welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today's video, I want to be talking about patch 12.10 and the update to the custom spawns. So we're going to kind of run through some of the spawn areas and kind of give you guys a rundown of, what your first two, what kind of engagements to expect to be taking. So let's get started. Here we are, spawning in Big Red. So this is one of the spawns you can get. Being here, you're going to be first to Big Red. I mean, nobody's going to beat you if you're already inside of the building. Now, with that being said, you have potential for people to push on you pretty fast, as there's a couple still spawns still all around this area. It doesn't really appear that they've removed a whole lot of the old spawns, more or less just added some new spawns. So one of the spawns you can get is going to be right along this wall, up here on this wall. This gives you the ability to push up to that spawn where that spawn used to be, and push across and go over to dorms. Again, pushing the Big Red, but careful, there could be people spawn there, as well as the spawn in the back corner, and then the spawn up front. If you get the spawn here, you worry about pushing Big Red first here. Early engagements are going to be the people here and here. As well, if you try to push over to dorms, you're going to see the potential for that new spawn that's over there on the other side of the river now, to engage them pretty early. Now we're going to head to our next spawn, which is in the back corner of the map. Our next spawn is in the back corner of the map. This spawn gives you a lot of protection from any really, early engagements. You don't have to worry about your behind, more so just, in front of you. Giving you the option to push Big Red or in this parking garage, whichever you prefer to do. You can go right here and go across the river to go fight over towards Med or Crack House, whatever you guys call that building. Or you can push around left here and try to catch up if anybody spawned over here. Engage them early or work your way to the dorms. That's pretty much this with this spawn. You're not really first anything too exciting besides potentially Big Red. And kind of not really any exciting engagements you're going to have to worry about taking. This is kind of at the edge of the map. And you're going to have to do some walking for most likely the beginning portion of the raid. Alright, we'll head on to our next spawn, across the river. So your next spawn's going to find you here at the other side of the river. Pretty much this spawn's going to give you the closest spawn to the dorms. Not the closest spawn to the dorms, but it's pretty much second closest spawn to dorms. Depending on your strength levels, if you and the other spawn, it could be a tight rest to whoever gets there first. Also pretty close to construction, as you can see. If you have to go there for any early wipe quest, or if you're still on early quests as if you're a new player. Key play to worry about engaging. Again, depending where you go. You have spawns back there, so you can gatekeep from this side of the river by sitting over here and waiting to see if anything's coming across, if you have a good scope and a good shot. You have your spawn over there by the cracked med house. So if you guys were to run down this road at each other, you could see each other pretty early and engage. Or if you spawn here and go dorms, then you're more than likely going to get in a pretty early engagement at the dorm building. So we will head to our next spawn, which is going to be just past the dorms. Man, my throat. One key thing to note if you push dorms here, like I said, you're probably not going to be the first one, or you might be the first one just by a hair. I've had engagements where I rushed up these stairs off that spawn and I had two guys right here already pushed up on me, and I've had times where I rushed around the back of this building and I've already had guys jumping in that corner. Like I said, it all depends on just if somebody gets to spawn over here, or if they, if they have higher strength level or endurance level than you, or if they pop an SJ6, and all kinds of scenarios. Alright, so this next spawn is what I believe to be the technical closest spawn to dorms. However, again, that one it might all just come down to each opponent's strength and endurance levels. But again, this one's another very close spawn to dorms. You get here and you're definitely going to get in the 2-story first, and you can rush over to 3-story as well. Also, you have the ability to get over here and make any kind of engagements on gas first, get some peeks over there, kind of give yourself a view, see if Rashala is up if you're hunting Rashala down. Look for a sniper scav if you're on your sniper scav quest up there. a lot you can do from here first is some stashes. Like, you got a lot of options here depending on what you're coming in the game to do. As far as engagements go, if you go to dorms, you're going to be looking to get your engagement in dorms right away. Same as gas. You might see Rashal at gas right away to engage him. Or if you push over this way up these hills, you're going to get the spawns that are up on the hills to engage you. So with that being said, we'll head to our next spawn. Alright, now there are several spawns in this spawn area that you can kind of see yourself getting. I believe you can still spawn over here on the side of this hill here by these rocks, where that stash is, or very close to this area. And if you're here, like I said, you're definitely going to be closest to probably gas, with the exception of that guy that spawns over there and might try to give you some kind of contestants for it. So when you're coming up to gas, you definitely want to be focused on your right side and clear your right hill to make sure nobody's there. But nobody can spawn that antenna spawn anymore, I believe, so you don't have to worry about that. And odds are if the person spawns there, they will be pushing dorms. So most of the time, I don't think you'll see any kind of contention from your right. You get the option, though, to get on top of these rocks pretty quickly and kind of get some view over this whole entire area. If you're trying to do Shooterborn Heaven, if you're trying to push to find Rashala, if you're hunting him down, you're closest to one of his gas spawns. Gives you some potential, a good first engagements that you can kind of take from a range and get some cheeky kills. Next spawn area is over here on these hills, where again it's going to give you the ability to push up that way. If you want to push up on the dorms, you can push up on the hill and overtake the hill and get some view over this whole entire area, as well as you can come back up on these hills and get some view in this area. You also get the ability to push over to the roller building pretty first, or the chance of being first here, with the exception of somebody spawned deeper back there. But if that's the case, when you push this way, you have a really pretty good chance of making some early engagements once you get inside this fence. So you're going to want to clear inside of here pretty efficiently when you get in. Make sure you clear around these straight heads, these areas right there, your right and your lefts. And then move into this area for your next spawns. Now, there's a lot of spawns in this area. I do believe the one in here still exists. So you can spawn in this area, which again, if you do, it gives you the ability to be the first for the roller building or push for some of these other buildings that have some very good loot. You can get water filters and such in there. There's the roller mannequin on the mannequin spawn there, as well as some other various loots, as well as the dead scab spawn here. You get to be first for your quest, or I forget which quest it is exactly, but you gotta grab a package of that train card up there. You have this whole quest area up here. You get to be first for. You can as well spawn in this building. If you spawn in this building, my suggestion for you to be is be pushed forward and clear out this building ahead of you. That spawn over in that building over there. You can come out. I'll go in there real quick so we can see what it's like. So in front of this building, you can mark, this is another quest you gotta do, is mark a item here, mark the van there with a marker at some point. So if you get the spawn and you have that quest, it's very good for you there. You can push out of here and push into this building. Your biggest contention, as long as you keep moving forward, would probably be the spawn back there at Old Gas. Depending on what their intentions are, and if somebody's even spawned there, you might see them on a pretty early engagement. You give the ability to hit the stash, you have the ability to go access factory gate and the power building. You can go to factory gate and go push gas pretty quickly if you want to. You can also watch for somebody on the hills, or you can do what I prefer to do, and if I spawn close to this building, I rush this building. Come in here. There's a lot of good potential loot spawns back here, where you can get any random like wallets with key cards in it, cases, there's a jacket, there's thermite spawns in here I've seen, spring batteries. Like I said, there's all kinds of goodies back here in the spawn on these shelves. And then when you come out, like I said, next you're gonna look to engage people at gas. Now they could be pushed up on you depending on how quick you are and how quick they are, how many there are potentially if they split up. But our next spawn is going to be the old gas station, which is personally my second favorite spawn, with the exception of the ones at dorms. Because this one you spawn right here at Giving Tree, and there's all kinds of loot that can spawn right here at Giving Tree. There's a stash for you right there. There's the free loot that's in the gas station itself. You also have pretty quick and easy first access to that building that we just came out of, as well as pretty first access to Stronghold or Power Room and Pixel Spot to snipe out of if you'd like to. So lastly, we'll head to our, oh yeah, before we go to our next spot, there's also stashes all through this area you can loot as well. But when you spawn here, things you want to be careful of is the spawns back in those deeper buildings pushing up on you and holding an angle on the above you and below you here, as well as the people will spawn over at Mid or Crack House and fastly push up here on gas. And lastly, our last spawns here at RUAF. Now this spawn's a pretty nice one as well. You can spawn here and you give you the first ability at the Mid or the Crack, like I said, whatever you guys call this building. It also gives you the ability to gatekeep if you have a Shooterborn Heaven quest. You can come over here and kind of watch across the way if you have a good scope and are confident. Kind of look for some movement over there, or one of the spawns over there, maybe up in Big Red if you have a really big scope, and take them out. Generally some potentials for some freebies if you're looking for that. Or, again, if you're looking to make some quick money and loot, you get the ability to push into this building first, which has intels and meds, which is a bunch of good stuff you can spawn with. Got your dead scav here, you can search the duffel bags. If you are potential sniper scavs, you can take out. And then if you're looking for early engagement, you can run through med real quick, loot that all up, and then rush to Stronghold and look for some early engagements there. Or again, if you're farming Rashala, check one of his spawns pretty early. So with that being said, I hope this video was helpful for some of you newbies. I don't believe, your more experienced players might have already be aware of this, so hopefully for those who don't know the spawns too well or aren't very familiar with customs, this will be some useful information. Like I said, if there's anything I forgot, any spawns I kind of didn't go over that I'm not thinking about at the moment, please comment and I will update the video and rework that so that we're not missing anything key or importance. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And until then, I will see you guys next time.